Hello guys and welcome to my first video on this Marquee Matchups channel. Today I'm gonna be giving you guys my predictions of the Marquee Matchups, which is gonna release Thursday for week 7. But first of all, I want to explain to you guys how Marquee Matchups work. So it's basically a whole SBC pack with 4 SBCs within it, and it is of the best, let's say, games that is in the game week, so the most important games. And there cannot be two games from the same league, and I think that the reason EA does this is so you don't have to trade, like, let's say 22 Premier League players into an SBC, where normally if you had, like, you can see right here, we got Chelsea Arsenal is obviously a marquee matchup, but so is Tottenham Liverpool. Then they're gonna go with Chelsea Arsenal because they're not gonna go with both, because then you will need to trade in a lot of Premier League players to get this SBC done. So yeah, that's the reason why they don't do more than 2 teams for 1 league. So I will now get into the possibilities for this week, and we start off right here with Atalanta Napoli, which is a clash of the titans in the Serie A. Atalanta are currently second and Napoli are first, still unbeaten in this season in all competitions. Then we got LAFC versus, it's actually not to be decided right now, it's actually been decided. It is gonna be Philadelphia Union, which they're gonna face off in the MLS. I cannot spell. They're gonna face off in the MLS Cup, which is the final game of the MLS. It basically works like the NBA. If you don't know how that works, you play the whole regular season, then you go into a playoff system, and then the 2 teams they meet in the finals, and then they're basically just going to face off against each other, and the winner wins the MLS. So it is the final game of the MLS to determine who the winner will be for this season. Then we got Chelsea Arsenal, obviously the North London derby. I don't really have to explain much. Plus Arsenal, they are first in the Premier League. Betis Sevilla as well, another local derby from Andalusia. And yeah, it's gonna be a big game, really. Obviously there's a lot of history between the 2 teams, so it's gonna be a really big game. Ajax PSV is another, I don't know if that, no, it's not local, but it's obviously gonna be a very big game as well. Then we've got Roma Lazio, another local derby, but not only is it local, it is also a determination of who will be in the top 6. I know we're only in week 7 and it's game day 13, but it's still a really massive game to determine who will finish where in the table, because Roma and Lazio are top 6 teams in the Serie A. And it is also, as I said before, a local derby, but not only is it that, it is in the capital city of Rome. Both teams are located, so I won't be too surprised if we see this on the marquee matchups. Then we got Marseille-Lyon, also a really big game, but compared to these games above, I don't think it's gonna make it. The same goes for Tottenham Liverpool. As I said before, only 1 game per league, and I definitely think that they will favor Chelsea Arsenal. So I'm gonna shorten down this list a little bit to make you guys more open of the possibilities. Okay, so I'm back here. I've thought about it for a little bit, and I've decided to cross out Ajax PSV because compared to all the other teams and games that are here, I don't think that it's gonna make the cut. Same goes for Marseille Lyon. I think that there's much bigger games to be had, and Tottenham Liverpool as well. Not because it's not a big game, but I think the Chelsea Arsenal are gonna be heavily favored because it is actually a derby, and well, Tottenham Liverpool is not really a derby, is it? So I think that these 3 teams are not gonna cut it. And now I will go to what I think it should be. This is not my predictions, but it's what I would like it to be. I'm gonna make a list of that right now. So I've just made the list of the games that I want to see. Obviously, we cannot have Roma, Lazio, and Atalanta, Napoli in the same fixture, or in the same marquee matchup. So I've decided to go with Atalanta, Napoli above Roma, Lazio, because this is second versus first. Although Roma, Lazio, it could easily be that game because it is obviously a derby, but it's not all the time that EA they favor derbies in the marquee matchup. Sometimes they do it basically on where they're placed in the league. And I mean, Roma Lazio also checks the box for that. They both checks the box for where they're faced in the league and that it's a derby. But Atalanta Napoli is just, it's first versus second. It's what I want to see because I think that it is the most important match of the week, especially because Napoli, they're unbeaten. Although there's like a 5-point difference between Atalanta and Napoli in real life, I still think that it is the most important game in the Serie A this week. LAFC versus Philly. I just think it has to be there really, and I think that it's going to be because it is I do believe that it's the only game in this week that is gonna determine like a title. So it has to be in there. There's really nothing much else to it. The same goes with Chelsea Arsenal, a very historic derby, not North London derby. I think I said North London derby before, but it's not the North London derby. However, it is still a London derby, and I think it would be wrong to not include Chelsea versus Arsenal. And then the fourth one, which I want, I think it's gonna be Betis Sevilla because it is bigger than all the other games that I've like crossed out. Obviously, Sevilla have had a terrible start to the season. Betis have had a quite good start, but they don't score that many goals. But I still think this is gonna make it. And now I'm gonna make basically what I think that EA they will do. So these are the four SBCs that I think that EA they will release. Roma Lazio, I do think that they will favor that. LAFC Philly, I 100% think that that's gonna be in there. The same goes for Chelsea Arsenal. I am 100% sure that that's gonna be in there as well. Betis Sevilla, I don't know if that's gonna be in there, but I mean, sometimes EA they do it where they like include some weird SBC. Like they could actually go on and include Ajax PSV or Marseille and Lyon, but it just doesn't make sense because if you really look at it from an objective point of view, Betis Sevilla is more of a marquee matchup than Ajax PSV is and that Marseille Lyon is. I know that this is more of a title decider, but this is a local derby and a very historic derby. Plus, it's really important this season because of how bad of a form that Sevilla have been in and how good Betis they are. So I honestly think that this is gonna be what they release, but don't be surprised if you see Ajax PSV or Marseille Lyon. So really, if you want to get anything off of this video, go off of this list that I've made right here. Just don't include Tottenham Liverpool because that's 100% not going to be in there. It is going to be Chelsea Arsenal. But other than that, you can just go off of this list if you want to prepare for marquee matchups because all these fixtures right here is 100% going to be there. They're not going to be any other fixtures. I don't think so. Maybe there will, and maybe then I will end up looking like an idiot. But I think that all these fixtures right here are 100% gonna be in there, and this is basically just what I want, and this is what I think that they're going to release. But that's just my thoughts. You are welcome to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And actually, before we end this video, sometimes EA they obviously release marquee matchups for the Champions League, and I do think that there's a possibility that they will do that this week since it is the last game day of the Champions League. So obviously there are some games which determine whether or not a team is gonna finish either first, second, or even third in their group. So I'm also gonna make a list of those UEFA marquee matchups, and I'll get back to you shortly once I've made that list. What EA actually could do, because obviously Group D, they have Tottenham on 8 points, Sporting on 7, Eintracht Frankfurt on 7, and Marseille on 6 points. So really what they could do is have obviously they only released 2 for the UEFA marquee matchup, so they could have actually Marseille here and then Spurs, Marseille Tottenham here, and then they could have Sporting. I don't know who's at home in this fixture, but they could have they could actually end up doing this because this is really like this group is there's all to play for on the final game day. So I think that this could very much be it, but if it's not going to be that, I would go Liverpool Napoli, and then I would go either Marseille Spurs or Sporting Frankfurt. And those are just my predictions for the UEFA marquee matchups. Obviously, they are also very important, but I do believe that just the standard marquee matchups are more important since you get 5 packs out of them, 4 for completing each one, and then 1 for completing it as a collective, and 3 for completing these 2, and then 1 for completing the whole package again. But yeah, those were just my predictions. Again, if you guys have other predictions, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all when I'm gonna open up my rewards. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It costs you nothing and it helps me out a lot.